Alright, now for the hope that this is actually working. Because I had to reinstall Meld, so let's see if my stream is actually live. Okay, it is. Cool. Holy shit, it's working. Alright. Okay, so after a very terrible and janky Battlefield stream last night, we're back live today. That's why there is we've had tons of blue screens of deaths lately, tons even at work and PCs. So I blue screened 3 times last night with my latest NVIDIA driver update. So I've now re-rolled back to the driver on my graphics card that I was using prior, which was the one from the beta of Battlefield. I couldn't play Battlefield at all last night because something was chugging the computer, and I ended up reinstalling Meld Studio last night. I've reinstalled the drivers. I don't know. I'm gonna try something tonight and see if I can get it to work. I might do Weathering Waves tonight to see if it's janky. The Battlefield ran fine on my computer when I stopped streaming. It played, me and Ace did one match, and it played just like I was experiencing on stream during the week. But I don't know what is causing the issue. So, we'll see how this goes and performs today. Hopefully it's not too janky for everyone. It's not that it went bad, they're pretty dismissive of the 3-star thing. They think it doesn't really matter at this point, and they don't understand. I'm gonna make one more post in the suggestions, and then I'm just gonna leave it be because it's fuck it, whatever. Basically, it was a positive-ish response, but it seems like they don't understand what we're trying to say. Like, they don't understand the reason why appearance matters when you're talking to new players. One of them is pretty, like, whatever. You can 6-star him in the game anyway. With the new changes, everybody can get 6 stars. That's not the fucking point. It's that you're promoting it like it. Plus, I kind of called out their sheet, which is obviously bugged, according to what one of them said. Because I said, Noah's mentioned in all sorts of stuff, but she's not, She's not showing up in the category for it. And that's where that was one of the things, is their new thing for beginners. It's basically a popularity contest of how the curator wrote each guide, and it's not actually based on real viable data that's like, yeah, you can really use this here, you can use this here, you can use this here. It's just a popularity contest of who they put in to the thing. It doesn't show, like, you know, it was one of the things I mentioned is, like, one of the old school teams we used to clear was Noah, Tio, Valentine, and Demi-Urge Stella, and we did like 85-90% of the content. I believe that the best way for it to work is to place a veteran into newbie shoes. The issue is, who is going to deal with that for free, nonetheless? You don't even have to do that. I mean, I'm literally doing that for y'all. I'm literally telling y'all what the new player experience is. I'm going through, I'm giving you guys the general... we're giving you guys the general TLDR of what goes through as a beginner, what they need to look at for. But the issue is it's the perception of, the thing is, I would do it for free. Like, literally, I'm gonna be real. If I could get the Major 9 devs to give me a one-off account that has everything at, that has every unit level 100, an upgraded 6. I don't need their skills to be maxed, because I wouldn't play it with max skills where everything is maxed. We'd play it like a real player where you've got to make investment choices in skills and stuff like that. I would go through and work on it. But I'm going to tell you, it would cause me to quit the game at the end. In the end. Because, I mean, we're looking at probably a month, maybe 2, of going through step by step and doing what we did with 7 Deadly Sins. And it came out amazing when it was done. It was an unbiased, real system, but I'd have to have one other person I could trust to do it with, because it's a check, because it was a unanimous agreement when it came down to it. It couldn't be my opinion over the other person's opinion. We both had to unanimously agree on that this is how it works when we went through the system itself, which was a great mathematical situation that determined how a unit performed and went through. Here, the system, my issue would be is how we judge it here. Like, I don't know if it's still available. Let me see. Let me see if that Google Doc is actually available. Go to my studio. Content. Let's go grab this by 50, and then we're gonna need to scroll back a couple years. It's not gonna be 23, it's not gonna be 22. That's still all Epic 7. Go back further, there's 22, that's still Epic 7. Let's go further back, that's 22, so we need to keep going. There's 21, we're getting close. Alright, there's the Ultimate Beginner's Handbook.
Speaking with a bit more tension in my voice. I don't want the premiere to notice
The master tier list. Alright, so let's see if this link is still available. Or if I've deleted it. Okay, it is available. Display capture source master tier list. Alright, let's crop this so we can make this a little bit better for you guys. Let's see here. I saw some video recommended teams and I was like, nope, I do not have that kind of gear, neither does a new player, and never went back. How can you expect a new player to 10 turn stage 13? Exactly. Rumbling Bear, love the vids. Guides have been fantastic to watch since finding your channel. Thanks for the hard work and insight shared. Not a problem. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so, as a TLDR, this was the, this was how we went about, creating a tier list for, Seven Deadly Sins. Me and Weebs sat down for about a week and a half, and we developed this first page first. What we ended up doing is we figured out how we were going to rate it, and it was S through E class. E class was going to be the worst-based units, you know, the truly unusable, barely usable, you could maybe niche use them once in a blue moon. And then we went through, and we created a system for PvP in both scenarios. We created it for story boss, final boss, farming, dungeons and demons, events, passives, how their passives worked, whether they, what they kind of did, their, as from their first banner going forward, if they had value, from there, then their PvP assessment was how we had to get into B, A, and S class. But we ended up having to have this counted to make them a S class unit. Then we went through and the process began where we did a few test units that we wrote down here to see how it worked. We wanted to test how the system works, so we walked through each one. And we picked random units. This was not actually, this was not, done by a, this was not done by, like, oh, we're picking our favorites. This was actually random units that we ended up testing. So we did, Green Giant Deanne, how she performed. We did Derriere, and how she performed. We did Goddess Elizabeth. This one pissed off a lot of people that we didn't have her S ranked. We did the collab unit SR Aaron, and then we did Snatch Bond, which was a character that looked great on paper, but when actually used, came out terribly. Then we did this. This is how we came across the rating. We both had to agree on this as we did it. On the different categories. We had ungeared, geared PvP, we had story events, AFK farming, the Knighthood boss, the Hell Demons, and passives. We did reverse stages, Towers of Trial, key training caves, if it was a whale unit, the overall rating, the side note about it. Then it had the assessment that got it to its rating. And the way we mathematically came upon it was, if you take 2 tiers out of this, it drops to an A. If you take 2 tiers out of this, it becomes a B. Take 2 tiers out of this, it becomes a D. Take 2 tiers out of this, it becomes an E. And that's how we went about it mathematically, is by pulling 2 out of these, and it created it. Plus, if we were going to rate it in the A and S class, we had to use the assessments in that as well. So, we created a tier list that actually had value. And in the end, we pissed some people off because when I came here and I did, let's see here. The fact that we only had 5 S-class units out of all the entire kit, people were pissed. Because we didn't hump some of the A units that people normally humped, and that really made people upset. But this is how we went about it. We looked at it and we valued at how each one went based upon actual playtime, experience, and time put into each one of these units. We went through each one and tested out everything so that you could see how it performed. And obviously there was clear winners of where things worked, how things were scheduled, the overall rating. Side notes, for different types of units. And then we calculated it based upon the, scoring system for rating it. So this really changed how we did tier lists. And it was for real. She was great in PvP, but she was not top tier. You could actually... I didn't share again? Yeah, okay. Let me go do that real quick. But yeah, that's basically the TLDR on the tier list of, like, you know, there's a lot that goes into it, and they don't understand. Whoops, that's the wrong one.
While waiting for Master, I should use this time to run a disc cleanup.
All right. There we go. So when it comes to tier list, you know, unfortunately I know what I'm talking about because I've done it. And it's something that is, you know, it's important to take careful note of this and not put the I feels, I thinks in it. That instantly invalidates every tier list you ever do by saying, I think, I feel, and holy shit, are we gonna get Gnosis Beth? There's no way.
You're looking for life material?
Nope, Diane.
My name is...
Spooked. Spooked by Diane. All right. But it's the appearance is the big issue with Ava Main's tier list is you are putting this in front of a new player who is going to see this. They're going to see the 6-star crap about it, and you're not actually rating it. And what I'm afraid they're going to do is they're just going to remove the rating and not say that it was actually based upon 6-star ratings, and they're not actually going to reevaluate these units, because I guarantee you that tier list, if you were to realistically go through it again from a 6-star, 3-star flip, those units drastically change in what goes into S and A tier by a mile. Now, yes, many of them will be great, but it's going to really influence on how really B, A, and S tier get applied, because units at a 3-star value are going to have a lot of value if you're rating them as 3-star units versus a 6-star unit, because you're assuming a cost that is over 60,000 Aether on any unit you're talking about. So I don't know if they quite have the capacity to understand that. Alright, so we need to do the Spirit Bead shop. So let's go over here. And it's something that can be done, it's just it's going to take time. But it's misguiding to the community to see it the way they've done it. And that new system, while cool, is completely garbage in actually instructing players to new units. Or to the right units early on. Because it's just a simp list of whatever they decided to rate the units with. These streams are starting to feel like repeated dialogue and less progress. Hi, welcome to a content creator that deals with the new player experience. You're gonna have these conversations a bazillion times over. you're going to get the same question asked. When somebody helps and caters to a new player experience, all you're ever going to see is the same 25 starting questions, no matter if you have the guide or not. And I'm not the person who's just going to say, go watch my fucking YouTube video. So you're going to have to deal with those questions a bazillion times over. The people are going to come in and they're going to talk about stuff. I was just asked about the suggestion that I gave inside the Ava mains thing. So that's something that, you know, I just wrote up this big suggestion and they basically said, we don't really care. So that's cool. We move on. And I just don't promote Ava mains as, you know, the Outerpedia as hard, but other people will sit there and link it, but it's not going to be super supported by me because it is a content, you know, it is a more in-game oriented setup. They assume things that most people don't. So you have to realize that when you deal with these types of things, you're going to get very similar stuff. It's part of the territory. It's something that I've dealt with for 2 years in Epic 7. So it's just comes with the territory. I'm used to it. Hello there. How's it going, DMK? There will be a bazillion times I will answer, what units do you summon for? What units do you need to 6-star? What unit do you need to 7? What unit do I need to pull next? Is this unit good? Is this unit bad? You will have, all sorts of the same unique questions pop up all the time. Because somebody's gonna come in. I will give everybody the same respect. If you come in and ask me a question, I will give you the answer every time. That's the difference in me and other content creators. I won't tell you to fuck off just because I've answered it 1,000 times over. I'll do it every time. I'll give that same person that same respect and the same answer because that's who I am as a person. No matter how many times a client comes in and asks me some question, I will answer it the same way every time. Well, not exactly the same way for that client. I will make sure that if a client keeps asking me the same question, there's an issue on how I'm responding to his question. But if I get asked by different clients the same question, I will always answer it the same way and ensure that they get the same level of detail every time. Because it's about understanding. And just because somebody has a lower IQ and can't grasp something as fast or doesn't read or do that, I will make sure that I take the time to do it. You know, that's part of who I am and as a business model that I deal with. And if that makes somebody upset, then fuck off. I don't care. I will always treat everybody equally. I will give everybody the same respect when I go through anything I do. That's just who I am. And I've done that for the last 19 years of business. And it's done well so far. Also, hello there. So, I think, what, Hellcrest? Yep, Hellcrest joined. So, alrighty. Hero deployment. Let's see. Chimera. Readjust this from the video last night. I mean, there are people who... There have been people over time that have low IQs that it's right in front of their face. Where you can be pretty brute honest with somebody and it just right over their head. Now, I also understand we're dealing with language barrier to some. Now that part I understand. But sometimes there are people that no matter what you say and how you say it, it is like talking to a brick wall. Because they're either not actually listening of knowing how to retain information, it's that they don't read, or some can't read. That's another issue, is there are people in this world that are illiterate that literally cannot read. So that's something you struggle with. Or they can't read well. You have learning disabilities. You have all sorts of, like, stuff like that will come up that prevents people. Some people are dyslexic. Some people, you know, have whatever, speech impediments, whatever, that stop them from going out. Just people's educations are different. Not everybody is educated the exact same way. So there's a lot of stuff that will change how that interaction goes with people. And all that is actually, unfortunately, a part of being out in front of an audience 24/7, like, unfortunately, how I am. It's something you just... It's part of the daily life here. You expect this stuff, and you don't think twice of it. We just take it for what it is. Let's see, and then I'm looking for Ava. Yeah, the position is understood. It also reinforces why I don't stick around in games I joined when they are 0.5 years or older. Live service games don't wait for none, and these bonuses for new players don't replace the early start. That's also true. So I just try to go through and be fair with everyone. You know, I want to make sure that, as for at least when it comes to stream, I am always under the... I always want to treat every player like they are the hero and the star of the show, okay? One of the most disappointing things you could ever have is to go into a streamer's chat, they acknowledge you briefly, but then that's it. That's all they ever give you. Now, some days it comes down to that here, and I don't like doing it, which is also why I have never been a huge person of needing or wanting popular high-end, you know, 100,000 view streams. It's like when somebody comes in and actually criticizes me for having a low viewer stream or low viewer count on YouTube. Like, somebody tried to blast me one day on that I had, you know, I was only getting, you know, 2,000 views on a video, and I'm like, what? Do you think I care? No? Because I enjoy being able to have the one-on-one interaction with somebody, to go through and talk about, you know, what's going on, you know, helping them out personally, doing what I can to make sure that the one-on-one interaction is as good as possible when it comes to this. So, that's just been me and how I do things. And I mean, that's always been the case. Uh-oh, battery low. Well, time to have to listen to this.
Alright, let's test our luck. This lady's gonna empty your pocket.
Yeah, it's like they think that this is my job, and I'm like, no, bitch. I actually have a real job. I actually have two, thank you very much. I normally work 16 hours a day, but I've backed off of one so that I can actually have some sanity after doing it for a year. Working 16 to 18 hours a day for a year straight was mind-numbingly just roasting. I couldn't do it. So, I mean, I did it, but I need to not do that as much. So, that's why, you know, I've been trying to spend a little more time not doing stuff like that. Is Gnosis Dahlia any good at 3 stars? Is it okay to use red books for her? Yeah, you would want to use... You need to max out all skills on Gnosis Dahlia. And yes, she's good at 3 stars. She doesn't need her 6 star. Hello there. What's up? How's it going? How are you doing today? Like, yes, if YouTube was my source of income, and stream was my source of income, you would have to run it a little bit different. It would be more clickbaity, it would be more FOMO, it would be more brain-dead content to just create content. And I don't do that. I think ads are part of the partnership thing
Come on, let's play.
that run, but I have no idea because I don't think memberships take away ads like Twitch does. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked too much into that, and I had just turned on the ad rev for I just had turned on the ad rev 2 days ago. I forgot to do it on the channel, so I missed 2 days of ad revenue.
Being very generous,
I mean, at one point I made, I think, like, what?
right?
I think the best month I ever had on YouTube was like $400 in a month off ad revenue.
Firing my shot.
But
Did you prepare a will?
that's not gonna ever happen again.
The underworld
We're not gonna
is my
see
home, and my son is the reaper.
$400 or $500 ad revenue months again.
I have zero
Velia Demiurge, yes, she will be showing up
Our guest.
around the 2.5 anniversary.
Do you need some help? Deploying defense field.
Oh, I
But this one is going to be we didn't kill that. And we're not going to be able to kill it. We've used our 2 turns. Okay, noted. I hope Demi Luna have a counter. Her counter kind of is Luna, but it's didn't do what it needs to be done. Is another Luna? I mean, now that you're not wrong. That you are not wrong about. Best way to counter Luna is to create another Luna. And have her sit on your face as well. Exactly what we need. Alright, well, we know we can't beat it, so there's no sense in doing that. Wish I was that damn dragon every time. Yep. That I wish myself.
This is nice.
There's some. You guys trust me, right?
Yep.
I send my guests off properly.
It's called death.
That comes down to definitely a wider roster and mechanic understanding and then the gear to beat it.
Eliminating enemies.
And that's something that we have got to work on educating the players on over time, that they have to realize it's a marathon, not a race. Then you've got everybody and their mother pulling for something.
Oh, I love this gun.
So that's something to consider when it comes to like unit building. They got to learn the
To my will.
they've got to learn how to properly gear. They need to learn how to unit comp and set things up. So it's a daily process. It's a daily experiment. You gotta be okay with losing a while until you go and understand how the units work, how the mechanics work. Each one has their own unique piece of the puzzle, and figure out how to beat it.
Eliminating enemies. Did you prepare a
Hi Knight,
will?
do you make a video to clear each boss and story for a newbie? Like what team, equipment, mechanics of their skills? I haven't done anything like that yet.
All right, let's test our luck.
So, like, when you say each boss, you mean, like, story boss for, like,
The underworld is my
which one specifically would you be after at that point?
death equalize all. I really don't want to.
Like, are we talking, like, tower bosses? Are we talking... Because, I mean, you say story. Like, are we talking hard mode bosses? Where are we at?
I'm glad.
Don't forget your cut of the winnings. Come on, let's play. I'm taking your life. Watch this trick, epic! Hey, y'all! Massive wave alert!
Main story boss in chapter 2.
Head back.
We can go take a look at it, because... Well, I'm not in chapter 2 hard mode, darn. So, let's see. Where actually am I in story? Because we haven't been doing this yet. Wait, hold on, I have beat chapter 2. Stropey? Yeah, so Stropey hard mode, I just went in and bullied her with a fire team. She has no immunities. This was just a this was, I believe, a break race. Like, I think I just took in Chimera team. Guild raid begins right after the update. Yes, it does. That it does. I have an hour patch note video dropping today where I just covered all of that on the patch notes, which is going to be fun.
The underworld is my home. And my
I
side
kicked
is the
several yesterday
equalize all.
because we were at 40. I've already kicked all the
My enemies.
5-7 day inactives. Unless we are back up, then yeah, I need to kick more. Because, like, I kicked Hellcrest yesterday because I know he's not able to play right now. He's too busy playing, like, what? How many games is it right now?
I have 4.
Yeah. So I knew he was good to be kicked for a while, and it's easy to get him back in because, you know, he's right here. So it's not like, oh, I don't know if I can get him back.
My curse is kill.
I'm glad.
So you know, I'm being very generous. I'll blow you to pieces. Die, please.
In this moment, time bends to my will. No one dares to harm my master.
But I'll check as soon as I get out of this hard mode stage.
Alright, let's test our luck. Let me get a piece of the action.
To me, I'll only commit to Outerplane when I see what they're gonna do to Veronica.
Underworld is my home.
Fair.
And my side is the Reapers. May death equalize all.
Alright, man. We'll see you in a bit.
Time to head back.
There you go. Chimera team. Walks right through her. So, if you're struggling with this, the issue is probably the damage, which is obviously what I have. Also, team comp is something to really consider here. Elemental advantage definitely would help, but basically she's no immunity, so you can defense break her. Defense is a part of her kit. No, she's got 2,700 of it. Well, you said chapter 2 and 3, so I mean, this was chapter 2. Or do you mean, like, part 2? I think you meant part 2. Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't been up there that far. It's just a reading check is all it normally is. And do you have the unit built? Alright, let's go check the guild since he says there are stuff there. But yes, I mean, that is something that I can potentially do if there is commonly... yeah, we're at 28. Alright, so let's look. 1 day, 1 day, 1 day. 1 day, 1 day, 1 day. 6 days. I'm gonna see if there's anybody above 6 days. 12 days. Kick. And we'll kick the 6 day because everybody else is at 1 day. Yeah, everybody else is at 1 day, so we have pretty much an active guild at this point. We got a 2 day here. I'm not super worried about it at the moment. But that'll probably be one of the next ones to go. We've got 4 slots, which is plenty. But I mean, as of right now, I kind of have a... I have a general plan right now that I will walk through... I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet on the probability of it, but I thought about having a series where I clear, it would be a long form video, so I mean it would be that, but it would be, I would clear the 100 normal tower floors with not limited units. Do you have a slot in your guild? Can I join? Yes, if you're on Global 1, you can join. It's, it's this. For Global. Is taking it probably every 10 floors, doing a video. Showing 10 floors cleared on each one.
Why do I feel this is the Steropi plus state boss?
I'm actually not sure. I'd have to go look. Why don't take the chance and log and give us the exact
Talk to the
cost.
guy to see if because we need to see this until we have all story done. Everything is a case by case, so we need the actual information on what the boss is.
So, story, yeah, no, I can't even look it up yet. But if I go to Season 2 normal, it's typically a parallel to it. Right? It's normally a parallel, right? So it's just the hard version of, like, the tank box. I mean, I'll get there. That's going to be something that we're working on here soon, is getting through all of those so that we can do stuff like that. But, anyway, so the tower, I was thinking about doing in stages of 10. I'd probably do stages of 5s on hard. Very hard would have to be a much slower grind on this. But probably do this in stages of 5. And then walk players through what I used to beat each one of these. Going all the way up. I can't log in right now because 24-hour penalty, but I'll join tomorrow. That's fine. Just ping us on Discord with your name and we'll hold on. Because if I don't, like, I can say yes, but if Zeph doesn't know and somebody asks in Discord, we need to know the username. I can say save one slot, but then it's like, well, who's he saving it for? Or who are we saving it for? So it just makes it easier for us to know who and where. So if you can give it to me in chat, I can put it in Discord. We need it in Discord so that we can trace it. But it's yours, you know. The spot's there. Okay, we are back to the ever-growing question of who the frick do we level up next?
Called for me?
So I think we just completed Dracon.
If I need summons,
Oh yeah, wait, I have this written down. It's Ren, Tio, and Marion.
finally. Hands on your.
Hey!
Would you like this? Is now.
Alright. I am beyond.
Onimaru.
Yeah, Ren, Tio, and Marion.
Finally.
You ready?
Okay, let's go find out where we are in terms of upgrade materials and... Hold up. I might have some. No, not available soon on you. I've already used y'all. Okay, so never mind. The ecology study low-hanging fruit's gone. The Discord is available in a couple different places. It's on the YouTube page. On my main YouTube page, there should be a link to the YouTube right there. Also, exclamation point Discord, I think, works. I don't want to enter it, so I want somebody else to do it. That's not me. I believe exclamation point Discord brings up the command in both chats. So, somebody else to test that. That's not me on a admin level. But that also should bring up that as well. If it doesn't, then it's borked. Nope, it worked. So that works, and it's also, like I said, it's on both my Twitch profile and it's on my YouTube profile. Has the link as well. Alright, so Marion is 36, Fire is 23. I need to do just Tio and then 2 water units. So let's go ahead and get Tio out of the way. $98 of 200. Alright, slowly adding up there. Okay, Doppelganger. Luna is... because we pulled a Luna last night. So this is 90, so I'm 60 away. And then she's done, so tomorrow we finish Luna. Alright. And let's go ahead and get Nella finished off for the day. That is 10 away. I think I'm going to buy her 10 with the materials so that she is on a proper shard rotation now. So where is Nella?
You called.
So let's go buy her 10 of her shards to get her on a current, because I think that's the exclusive equipment throwing me off.
If the boss there, our friend problem is the tank he needs is... oh, what I have is actually what I used actually is a Veronica plus Tamara with the highest DPS they have.
Makes sense.
Because this is a GPS check on the speed level,
It's me.
Got it.
I look like a newlywed.
and a lot of Veronica's S1 pulling a lot of people S1s is the way to do it. If it's the tank is his problem, that is a DPS check that you need the help from those two characters.
Makes sense.
One step closer to the throne.
All right, we've got that. So she's now 5 stars. So now we got to get 5-star plus plus. So we got a little bit ways further to go on her. Yep, plus, 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 and 6. So 450 more shards finishes her off. Very nice. Out of curiosity, how much is that if I was just to buy it today and we move on to somebody else? Because, like, I never use these pieces. So, I mean, I might as well start using them for something. Oh, yeah, totally. Just be done with it. Move on to somebody new. Cool. Luna's 6-star. Perfect. Oh, I got another 150 to go. Oops. I thought she was plus plus already. That's 5-star plus plus. Okay. I got it backwards. I wasn't paying attention. So I got one more 150 to do. Honestly, with maintenance, I'll probably end up pulling her soon. So I'm not going to chase it any further. Because recruitment, we will... we'll be putting Fran in this in one of these slots when we start pulling for her to get Fran and Fatal brought in. I know if we're gonna get actually we're getting Fatal for free, so I'll probably just put Fran here. She's going away. No need to pull on her because she's in the custom recruit. Let's see here. Event shop. All right, let's go finish off our dailies. We're gonna go do actually, what are we working on to get?
Oh yeah, last summoning for Enos, I got 5 copies of Fatal.
Damn.
Yeah, showing up for that almost every time.
We're closer to getting this book, so let's go ahead and do Masterless Guardian. Take the L on this, so stage 11. We're gonna skip. We'll skip 20 today on it. God, this actually hurts. Slowly but surely, yes, you do get more materials, but each one does increase. But it's definitely a gear check. So at stage 10, it is just beating it. Stage 11, you have to beat it in 30 turns to get the 3-star. You have to beat it in 25 turns, and then the 13 is 25 turns as well, with more stats. And then the reward information is you're getting armor glue knight fragments, you're getting your gear as usual here, and the currencies are higher. So, and you can only do this 3 times a day. But for me, it's a gear check. I got a few more small pieces that I need to iron out, and then I should be able to beat that pretty easily. Honestly, let's just go ahead and blow the 10 energy on this and get it over with. Flight X Dark, same as the account. Alright. Alright, I gave you the mobile games role so that you should be able to access the mobile games chat. That's the main one you need there to get into it. So, you can post now in that channel. You could have rolled into it, you just didn't pick it. But that is the general one. I don't know if I will ever create a separate full Discord section for Outerplane. Just don't know if it will warrant that. Alright. So we've spent that. Let's head on.
A little too early for that.
Yeah. Okay, so we were in the process of blasting through side stories, so what we're gonna do is, I mean, not that it bothers me, but if y'all, as a TLDR, for those of you who are probably not gonna watch the video, hello there, how's it going? Start this side story if you have it unlocked already. They're moving it back some. For those of you who, if you start this, it will, you'll be able to keep it where it's at on your account. So this is going to be moving, and they're increasing the requirement to unlock Fran's side story. She'll also be recruitable here soon as well in the custom recruits. So, all right, these are all done. These are all done. So we're doing a brief interlude. Diane, a healer. Got you. I can cook on this. All right, so today we're gonna use. Let's use some sauce that we normally don't use. It's a little sus. But you know what? We'll do it. Let's use some stuff we normally don't use. For the healer, we're going to go ahead and bring in you just to go ahead and get through that. Let's see here. What other stuff do y'all not normally see? We can bring you in, and a damage carry is going to be... let me see who my strikers are and mages. Let's look at... Let's bring Cannon in. So Cannon will run Air's gear. Hilda will run Luna's gear. Monad Ava will run Monad Ava's gear. You're running your own gear. And that should be pretty spicy for running through this. As long as I don't need anything specific. Have any spots? Yeah, I have a bunch of spots on my friends list. Plus, I have a bunch of old people who will probably never come back to the game. So, if y'all need friendship points, feel free to add me. It's Nightingale1176. I am a creature of habit. Unless the game bans my name and doesn't let me use it. Blue Archive. Also, that's a normally instant no for me. If I can't ever enter my name on a game, I don't play it. If I can't enter Nightingale and it says it's banned, I never play the game. I do not want to support a game that is so afraid of having NIG together as a word. Or in any type of word, I will not support it in any shape, form, or fashion. Because that is what it is. Because I tried it with light, L-I-G-H, and it totally went through. So it was the NIG that was triggering it. And, yeah, no, they can go piss themselves on that one. I will not support games like that. And there's been several that we ended up trying over the years that... I just know Blue Archive was the one I kept falling for the bait on. Why did I not end up playing this? And I finally memorized why I never played Blue Archive. Not only was it the chibi bullshit, it was the, specifically, it was the name. Was why, I wouldn't play it.
How about another round?
And then, just to prove the point of, that it was the, to prove a point that it was the, name, I wrote the same name in, Japanese, and it worked instantly. So it wasn't the fact that my name was Nightingale, it was the NIG aspect of it.
Mine is understandable, but is always cracks me up is the second part.
What?
My nickname. Mine you would understand why
Mm-hmm.
you take the first part of it, but
Yeah.
it is always the second part that gets banned for me. I was like, I don't get it.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah, it's always Crash that gets banned. It's not
The
the
hell?
hell part.
Weird. Pop that up. 8.6 may be the best gun in the game. Really? What other gacha games do you play? Non-gacha? Right now, I'm playing Battlefield 6 and Weathering Waves. Can you look at my D Luna build and tell me if it's good? Yeah. Let's see here. Friends. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Salty effectiveness. That'll eventually want to be re-rolled. Spirit of Unification. Not the necklace you want to use for her. You don't want a one-off increased attacks at the start of the battle. I would rather have Memento Mori, but that's where you're getting your crit damage from, which is also good. I would rather have on a mage. What was I looking at? Memento Mori was what I was gonna run on her. Not bad. Yeah, no, I mean, overall, it's great. And the fact that you already tier 4'd it, or starting to tier 4 that is... That's an expensive investment. That is a very expensive investment. The only thing that you are a little sus on is crit chance. You are at 50-50 crit chance. So that is something you would want to try to fix over time. Where you're really lacking in it is... the necklace is low. So some of these 9 rolls, you need 2 of these rolls. Actually, you really need to roll all of them one more time is what you're missing. Or in your exclusive equipment, you need, well... where are we gonna realistically get that from without sacrificing? Like, what is overly rolled here? So that's a pretty good crit chance roll. That's a pretty good crit chance roll. So yeah, you definitely need to strike your. You would need to have You need to hit your crit chance rolls again, realistically on this gear, to have gotten the 100% crit. But yeah, that's overall, I mean, that's still absolutely gonna smack the shit out of something when it hits. So, where is it? Adventure, challenges. No, you're gonna be running on Memento is, where is it? Memento is in here. And it will roll attack percent, is what you would end up rolling. So, you'd go attack percent, and at the, she'll increase her attack, at the start of every turn, is what I would rather have running on her. The others are absolutely pissed. Heals on attack, evasion, and accuracy wouldn't be running. So, I would rather have Memento Mori on her. Then, let's see. No, I wouldn't want that one. I don't want anything that's a per chance roll on a stat that I need. Spirit of Unification, that's what, yeah, that's what you're running. Which has a 50% chance to increase attack by 1 turn at the start of the battle. I don't want a one-off attack. There. Queen Prism grants a barrier. I don't want that. If the wielder is inflicted with a debuff on their turn, priority increase, and I wouldn't want that. So yeah, it's Memento Mori. Could I max out my, Yeah, that's also something to ask, because have you maxed out your light quirk, yet? Gem crit can give 3% at level 6. Yes. So, you would first need to, max out your light quirk or account for it. Alright, let's go ahead and jump on into this and get rolling on side stories. Get these blasted through. Sooner we get these done, the sooner we get to the sooner we get to story to go through and steamroll it, and then the sooner we get to having all the Aether in the game. Because we want to get all farmable Aether pulled up so that it's just the monthly currencies done. Because we got a lot of units to roll and pull on. Her animation always makes me laugh. That would be the only thing I would want to work on, is getting your crit chance to 100%. But I mean, that can, like I said, that can be rolled over a couple other pieces. Like, just keep rolling crit damage pieces if you end up getting it. You just gotta get those rolls up a little bit more.
I'm not tired yet. How about another round?
Oh. So yeah, with the hour-long video today for patch notes, there won't be a Ultimate Beginner's Hand Guide video, because that thing's going to take a while to upload and process. Realistically, it'll take me about 35 minutes, 40 minutes for it to upload, but it'll take probably an hour and a half to process. So that'll be it for today on Outerplane videos. Which is fine, because it helps stall out the fact that I do kind of need to get Joint Challenge and all those other ones ready. The only one that we're going to have to indefinitely push is World Boss back further, since it's not brought up, but I can also, in its place, put Guild Raid. Since we will have a guild raid up, I can actually talk about it there in its own video.
Removing the variable.
I'm not tired yet. How about another round?
But it's gonna be an interesting, patch. I'm ready to see some people kind of pissed. I'm expecting that. I'm sure there's gonna be a small, like, 5% of the community is gonna be upset that there's 2 limiteds running back to back. I'm quite ready for that. It's very common to see. We also put the disclaimer in at the end that they're not going to have their English voice, so do note that. Yes, so you have to understand that there's a mentality that goes along with a lot of new players that that 2 limited units get run back to back, and especially 2 that are classified as S tier. Because again, the fucking tier lists go out and they overhype this shit to make things seem like way better than they are. It is it's because you guys have to look. Okay, so let me put it to you like this: you have to look at it from a new player's perspective. Of it may be a rerun, but it's the first time they are seeing a unit. They want to be able to try to obtain it, but then you have a limited unit when they first came to the game, which was Summer Ember, and now you're releasing Tamamo immediately after, another limited unit, and you got to realize that some of these players don't have the brightest thought processes when it comes to how the game works, that yes, you're not guaranteed nor entitled to have every unit in the game. And we will always get that small percentage. Like I said, it's about 5% of the player base will come in to a video and they'll be like, I can't believe they're running a rerun or a limited unit right after another limited unit. How am I supposed to pull for it? Well, this is why I make those stupid guides and videos that say don't go fucking 3-starring any, or go past 3-starring anything when it comes to your, like, demiurge units. But then you get the jerk-off content creator that goes out and tells you, you must have this unit 6-star. Look at how OP it is. Look at how amazing this is. You gotta get it 6-star. Pull now, pull now, pull now. And then the fucking stupid people go out, they follow the hype, and then when something reruns that they want as well, that comes in sooner than they want, guess what happens? Now they're upset because they've bought into the hype, they summoned that unit that's always in the game, now that the limited thing that they can't summon for is here. It's poor decisions and bad education on how you approach things. This is why I go out and I say every time in my videos, do not pull for a unit past 3 stars unless it is a limited type unit, a real limited based unit. And even then, you don't have to chase its 5-star. 4-star will clear everything you want in this game. You can do 3-star at everything you want in this game. 6-star is just a PvP thing. Yes, it can help in PvE, but it's a flex. It's a monetization model. But the game is designed around 3 stars. If you want the 4-star tech, it's not unreasonable or unlikely that One Pity potentially couldn't pull that. But note that the costs that go with it. And these people don't pay attention to stuff like that because they dive into the hype of making sure to get Demi Luna 6-star, and then they blow 50,000 Aether to do that, and now their account's on 0 Aether. And you can't generate more than maybe 16,000 a month without realistically spending. The only 5-star premium worth in PvE is Monad Ava. After that, it's just luxury. Yeah, and you don't even need the 5-star. That's the point. You don't need the 5-star. It's great, but it's not needed. She's a great healer at 3-star. She's a great healer at 4-star. She's a great healer at 5-star. She's a great healer at 6-star. It doesn't matter where she's at. It's how much extra luxury do you want added to it? It's a premium, and that's the reason why they're called premium units. I mean, that's really a great way to look at it. I need the 6-star. I mean, I understand. You want the flex. There's a reason your Epic 7 account costs what it costs. I understand that, Chase.
I will bury these interlopers in the ground.
He's an ability to spend the money. Let him do stupid shit.
Regulating variables.
The cleanse on burn 3, the double attack is really worth, especially when Festival gives it for free. Exactly. Now that's the part of it where it's cool, but you have to also realize the festival does not give it to free for everybody. So, after a certain amount of days, the player loses the ability to get the 5-star. It hard disappears on the 23rd, not when a player starts the banner. So if you started it in the last week, you're only going to get that unit 4-star or 3-star. Well, you'll get it 3-star, but it would be in a week how many ever tickets you could go through to get it. They would have to spend Aether. We did the calculation. I don't remember what it was.
Enemy evaluation complete.
It was valuable for them to spend the Aether at a point to try to chase the 5-star, but then once it got past the certain day, it was no longer worth doing to chase the 5-star by Aether. Thankfully, with maintenance compensation, there was an extra 20 being added to it, so if you were just 20 away, it was worth doing. But that unit is not going to be something that is doable at that point. So you have to look at her as a 3-star unit now for most players, most newer players that started post 1st of October. How does this unit work at 3 stars? If you mentioning how much my E7 account was worth, that I regret so much. Listen, I had a very expensive account too, just not in the value and physically spent. I mean, it was an expensive account, yes, but I had far more in value just from what I had farmed up and had on the account. Made it far more valuable. But mine was attached to a Facebook account, so I couldn't get rid of it. Yep. That is Gacha Game 101. Yep. And then there is the... there's many different ways, I mean, that you can look at it. But here, so to give y'all guys a perspective, we brought in on my reroll video, if we count every view as a potential reroll, as of today, the current viewership on the reroll guide is 8,000 people have watched that video, okay? So now, if we assume that 8,000 people have actually played the game and re-rolled based off of that video or came in to watch it, not just check it out, but if we actually take it at 100% face value, which is impossible to do, but we'll say 8,000 people re-rolled. That's 8,000 new players playing this game. And that is 8,000 people who have poor choices ready to be made, that weren't educated, that now are going to do stupid things because they just assume or didn't read or weren't told. And did those 8,000, how many of those, I mean, yeah, I can tell you where it is, and I can tell you it's plateaued over the last, like, 10 days that we've only gained, like, 400 people have watched the video in the last, like, what? Since, let's see here, today at October 22nd, till I get 500, it is October 17th at 1:14 a.m. I was at 7,500. So from the 17th to today at the 22nd, we have gained 500 views. So it's slowing down drastically on people looking at the game. in terms of the re-roll process. Let's make sure we get the Booba image. Great foreshortening on it. So, even if we take 500 players, how many of those know about limited units and are pulling for Summer Ember right now, or watch somebody else's video that overhyped Luna and was like, you must have this unit at 6-star. They burn all their Aether down. They have 0 Aether left. They've already cleared the story, and so there's a ton of Aether missing from that. You know, it's rough. Okay, so now we're gonna need a mage on the team. So you know what? Let's put Tamamo on there. Screw it. We haven't used her. Let's pop her up on the team. Where is Tamamo? All right. I'm gonna rock you with Eternals gear just so that there is some sort of gear on you. You know what? Let's use Stropey. And part of me why I'm doing this too is just to show you that you can kind of use whatever you want and however you want it. That you don't have to literally play with what the game tells you you have to play with. You can kind of get away with whatever. So that's something. We're gonna go grab Air's gear and pop it on you. I mean, she's not even upgraded, and we should be able to still do stuff with her. So
I'll stand in front. Just follow my lead.
Where are you looking? I'm right here.
I think one thing as a community we need to get better with is the education of the newer players. You know, you got to stop thinking like an in-game player. You got to stop thinking like a mid-game player. You got to remember the uneducated starts like we had. We didn't have an educated start. Some games, you have the Korean bullshit where you can jump back to Korean Japan release and you can go, okay, so we had this, this, and this. And that's why I had such a great start, is because I watched all the videos that told me exactly what to do from Korea. Well, yeah, that works, that helps, but that's not going to be everybody's experience. What was day one like? What was the, you know, what is day one like for a new player today? What helps them progress? Because here's something like that literally changes tomorrow. The reroll. Nobody can start with Monad Ava tomorrow. You can, but you give up your Demiurge starter. So you give up the ability to stop rolling for Luna and you would give up rolling for Luna and or Stella as your starter Demiurges. So now you're under a pressure of, do I re-roll for Monad Ava or a damage dealer? That's a hard choice because both actually arguably are good re-rolls for where you're at.
That fleeting springtime dream.
When is your patch note video going up? It will, as soon as I get off stream, I will put it in Premiere, export it out. That'll probably take about 25-30 minutes to export out a hour-long video, because it's like an hour and 6 minutes long to read through the entire thing and go over it. We have... Then it'll take about 45 minutes to get it uploaded, and then maybe, I'm assuming, about an hour for it to process. So it should be up before lunchtime. Or by the end of lunchtime. As long as I don't go, like, too much over 10, I could probably get it out by, like, 1 p.m.-ish. If the processing delays it, it'll be out before I go to dinner. That's what I'd be waiting on, is the processing of it. Because, unfortunately, here is the downside of being in the YouTube partnership thing. I have to wait until the monetization part processes before it'll post. So I have to let it go through that check. So basically, here's what happens. I upload the video. It goes through a check to make sure there's no copyright stuff. After it, so it uploads, it processes it, and gets it ready for the 4K viewing. Then it checks for any copyrights. While it's doing the copyright check, it is getting it set up for monetization. And that part can take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half. And I've seen it drag out as long as 3-4 hours. Thankfully, it's sped up on the processing aspects, because one of the big catches I used to run into was the 4K processing not showing up. So I would always wait till 1080p was guaranteed, and then once 1080p was guaranteed that it was done, I would launch a video. But we've gotten past that now on YouTube. The 4K processes instantaneously, within like 10 minutes of 1080p being done. Processing, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm right here. Firing my shot.
So that's gonna go out today.
Now pray.
God has tasked us with this duty.
I remember pulling Stropey.
Advance!
That would have been fun for PvP.
Do you need some help? Deploying defense here. Jeez, you're still here. Activating pulse. Machine gun fit. It wasn't so bad for a quick bite.
All right. So I'll probably end up doing Ember's Pack today, and that'll be the last thing I can spend on, because I had to buy Battlefield 2, which
Let your final dance begin.
that was gonna be the only like large expense this month in gaming. But the way I will look at it is, I'll do this to help out the game. It's going to take what I know is backed up on YouTube that I didn't collect from where they shut my partnership down last time, plus what is there available, so I know when it cycles around I will get the money back. I'll just call it as a we'll call it basically a loan on the YouTube channel, where I'll let it pay it back, or a line of credit from my YouTube channel, and that'll be it. You know, I'll do that. It's good value, plus I'll get the Monad Ava costume for it. So, you can't host a tournament. Friendly battle doesn't even load. Oh, really? That's terrible. Check it after the patch and see if it gets fixed, or is it like literally just down? I would say check it as soon as the patch drops and see if it's patched. If it's not, then yeah, that's unfortunately dead in the water. I wouldn't know why they would do that, though. I know they scrapped the RTA idea, because it doesn't really work here. With how they've set up their game, it doesn't really work.
I will not be merciful to my enemies.
Where are you looking?
Where am I looking? Respectfully is where I'm looking. I'm not looking where you think I'm looking. Gosh, who do you think I am? Some degenerate heathen? Please. I'm looking. Respectfully. I paid to look. Yep. The narrator. He was looking where you thought he was
fixed
looking.
by the patch. It might be stuff tied to the old server that needs to be reserviced by the company.
There's a good chance that that might be it.
You may cry.
We just need Morgan Freeman narrating that. He was looking where you thought he was looking.
Guess what? This is what, like a tube-mount process transfer.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not only
I
the
mean,
trans. You got to think it's they didn't just bring the game over 1-to-1. They tried updating it right away,
Eliminating enemies.
which I get. You needed to build hype with moving it over.
Don't shoot
Yeah, I think that was the fastest transfer I've ever seen in my life.
I may spare.
Actually, it was a little bit slower because I think BDO's service transfer was like 3 days. When they 4 days, I think, might have been. It was like 3 or 4 days is all it was down. But the issue was Google Play, I believe, and Apple Store were giving them crap about the release of it.
It wasn't so bad for a quick.
But I'm also wondering, was that also due? You know, I just respectfully noticed something, chat. I respectfully noticed something, and I think I'm going to respectfully show this to you, in case you haven't noticed this. So, get your respectful binoculars out, because we're going on a journey real quick. Somebody's got a little mole right there. And I just now noticed it. Live on stream. I noticed that. All of a sudden I was like, hey, wait, huh? Nani? Okay. Attention to detail. Let's go. Just as an FYI, okay, treasure hunt activated.
Don't shoot away.
I am now respectfully looking for the treasure hunt of moles.
I may spare.
Where are they hidden, the little black dot?
Firing my shot.
I will now find them all. This is now my new Pokemon quest in this game. To find where all...
That was so zoomed in. I thought that was Demian State boobs, so I know that's Tamamos.
Yep.
Pardon, but please disappear. Converting
Let's find the beauty marks.
eliminate them all. It wasn't so bad for a quick bite.
So I saw a... somebody had a suggestion on... I think it was the main Discord about wanting them to update the art for the character on the 2D animation,
My master.
and I don't think they realize that it's way easier to do the 3D than the 2D.
I'm right here.
Because the 3D is just them overlaying the costume on it from the costume being in game. The 2D would physically need to be redrawn.
You may
So that's why they don't put the 2D artwork in. You'd have to have an artist go back and redraw it. Can it be done? Absolutely. Is it that expensive? Not necessarily, but it is something that they have to pay to do. But it's a lot easier because they already have the model and stuff done, so it's easier to display and show the animation with the character in their outfit on, because it's following the actual character model.
no prey.
I'll blow you to pieces.
You know why? I thought that was Demian State because she has one too.
Right there on the cleavage line?
On the other one, on
Okay.
the left one.
You may cry.
Okay, okay.
I'll blow you to pieces. Take this! Divine retribution!
Eyes over here. Can you take
So what next? We're gonna have to end up having a beauty mark tier list? We're gonna have a cup size tier list, a beauty mark tier list, thighs tier list. God, we're gonna have so many tier lists, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Don't you run away.
Oh, jeez.
I may spare.
Go ahead. Impress me. Firing my shot. Joint attack. I won't miss.
Gotta have a foot tier list for the freaks.
You may call. Fire support.
I only think like 2 or
Actually,
3
like,
can get into
actually,
that.
I got this fast to got you into fucking YouTube video just to check a beauty mark on a move go. No, the fact of my memory went straight to them yesterday.
No. Trust me, we've got a far more scientific version of doing this. We did this with Epic 7 once. It was hilarious. We had a cup-sized tier list.
I'm right here.
I'm not a plot hunter for no reason. Let's just put it that way.
Firing my shot. Joint attack. You may call.
Even the mighty.
From washboard to absolute mama milkers. The holy milk tanks. The smother me till I die.
Burning passion.
Enemy alert level adjusted. Ending instantly.
I think the hardest one is... We struggled between who was the actual largest in Epic 7 between 2, because it was so close.
I will do this.
Like, Stella held on to that for, or what was her name? Was it Stella, the witch? But flat as justice? I mean, yeah.
Eyes over here.
It also breaks your neck when you lay on it, but...
Eliminating enemy.
Cirilla, thank you.
Joint attack.
Because, like, Cirilla, Luna, and, shit, what's her name? Starts with an A.
Delta.
I think the top 5 is you gotta be Rowan at 5.
Arya, thank you. Yeah, Rowana was up there. Rowana was up there. Arya was definitely one of the massive ones. Luna was up there, especially now that we had the, especially once we got the original skin. Her mana tanks got bigger because of the original model. Then Arya, Cirilla, Rowana. I think that was truly it, in the because as soon as they let go of the guy who did all the Rowana Arya designs, they did not go mega mana tanks anymore. They toned it down. Miguel, 3C, thank you for subscribing.
I'll stand in front. Just
They went
follow
high
my
school lately.
Don't you run away.
I haven't kept up with anything of their summoning habits over there, so...
Go ahead. Impress me. Eliminating enemies. Joint attack. I will do this.
Even the mightiest wave will break upon me.
Let's see what this is.
Enemy alert level adjusted. Ending instantly. With elegance
And burning passion.
firing my shot. Fire support.
Oh, really?
Smash you to bits.
Interesting.
Eyes over here.
Was it somebody you knew bought the account, or was it somebody you didn't know and they're just like, yeah, man, here, I'll keep you up to date on what's going on?
I will make you pay.
My account is sitting stagnant.
Divine retribution.
Someone I didn't know that I befriended? Oh, that's cool.
If a fool's paradise.
It's about the friends you made along the way. You know what?
Annihilation protocol. Activate. Delta. Eliminating enemies. Fire support. Execute. Stay still.
Smash you to bits.
You split it up on payments. Okay.
Still here.
And you paid it off. It's a worth friend. Yeah, that's cool.
You may call. Joint attack.
That's pretty neat.
You lack skill.
Eliminating enemies. Fire support. Execute. I will do this.
Smash you to bits.
Yeah, with us stay, you have 2 versions of the beauty mark. You have the cleavage on point or the fully open underboob version.
Yes. It's a whole new world. Yes, it is.
New toy? Where are you looking? I'm right here.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, a whole new world. I know I just discovered
What?
about that because I just learned. I was fucking listening to English songs. It's one guy that sings the whole song.
Beckoning to them all.
Yeah?
With elegance,
I mean,
burning passion.
it's big for me that I didn't speak English. I didn't like, watch or listen in English songs of the Disney songs. I was like,
Passion.
Yeah.
dude, the fuck? It's one guy making the female and the male voices. I was like, damn.
Who knows? I may
No, she sings. The girl that did, when they did the actual main dub of that song, the girl sings it with him.
if a fool's paradise is all
That is done by two voices. There is that she does sing it with him.
pardon, but
Now, when they probably originally wrote it and the original version went out, yes, it would have been one singer that did it. But the actual Disney performance, I'm 90% sure is both of them because they did the vocal dub of that before they animated it, so that they had the mouth movements animated to the song. So that would have had to have been done by both of them. So the girl that voiced Jasmine should be singing with it. But if you found the original version where it's like the writer wrote it and put it out, then yeah, that's totally one voice. Because that's very common. Like there's many songs that I have been sent across that were from the original writers that are them singing on their tracks, but then we end up putting a male-female voice on it later for the actual production run. Brad and Leah, yep.
Yeah, what I saw was the demo for it.
Which is cool. That's awesome. I love seeing stuff like that. Like as somebody who goes into, you know, who works in the industry, and we get to see some of these songs. Like I have a couple #1 hits from songwriters, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to their demo versions, and I'm also going, damn, how close that demo is to the real version. So, you know, I get a kick out of it for where I'm at in the music industry. So it's neat to be able to see other people's reactions to stuff like that for the first time. And then let's do Eternal for this run. Alright, actually, what are we doing? Because this way it'll determine what hero type I need in here. She is a... I'm going to need a light unit. So I've got the light. What is Furry Girl? We'll figure it out in a minute. I think she's a mage. Mage. Yeah, I've got a mage. Okay, so I've got light and mage. Cool. We're good.
the prodigy has returned.
Let's see.
With me,
The underworld is my home, and my side is the Reapers. May death equalize all.
Should be good. Cool. This will run
Incinerate my enemies.
through. We got 10 o'clock. I'll do this last. This will probably be my last one.
I'm taking your place.
If I wasn't having to export out an hour-long video, I would probably hang out a little bit longer. But with that looming, because I was gonna do it prior to the stream.
prepare yourself.
No, this next step up definitely does not have a skin, which is why I was considering doing this one over. Also, the step up has something in it that's in Korean that I couldn't read.
I'm taking your
Firing my shot. Thrilling, isn't it?
We're done. We finished on time.
They need to hurry up and get the site converted over to fully English. They need a full English version of that website. But that's going to take some time because that's a lot of information to get converted over. But you could probably do it if you were jumping on AI, you could probably get a website converted within a week. If you cheated it with AI.
And my side is the Reapers.
And then just tell the community, look, if you find any errors that don't work, that grammatically don't make sense for the language, let us know and we fix it. We'll try rolling out a patch on it as soon as possible. And just get the website rolled over to a full English setup.
We're done. We finished on time.
Because having to go to the Korean version is very janky. Like, it's got English text on it and it's set up, but it is a little bit janky.
I will bring victory to my master.
It's called death, and it'll be your sanctuary, because nobody lives forever.
Yeah, speaking of time, when we're gonna go back to 2 hours?
Die, please.
My shot. Thrilling, isn't it?
Nuisance.
November 2nd, I will fall back. The website for Outerplane, where they're doing all their patch notes stuff from, is on their Korean hosted website with an English setup page to it. They need to do a full overhaul on a English setup, like how Stove had for Epic 7 and Outerplane. They need a newer version of it because it's very hard to get it to navigate because of a lot of the Korean stuff. Did you see the typo about the collab unit? No, I didn't. I think that must have been removed by the time I got to it. And we already know by talking to them, the collabs won't happen. They lost too much money. It's still there, and I blew over it and I didn't realize it.
The underworld is my home, and my side is the Reapers. May death equalize all. Hellfire, incinerate my enemies.
What? I completely did not read that. That's so weird. 3 pieces of Eyes Wallenstein, the collaboration hero, and Aether. So they copied and pasted this. There's also a couple typos in there from 2024 that are literally just 2024, where they wrote a couple things. And there was a one where there was an event in there as well. But I mean, I get it. They're trying to do so much at once. They don't have a full localization team that, you know, is writing this. This is being copied and pasted over. Quickly translated, because you can tell that is very much copy and paste. They're probably AI translating this. And so they're just running it through the text and copying it, not reading what is actually in there. Because that would be a pretty easy one to do. I mean, okay, lazy, yes, but no. I don't know how many. Okay, so here's what I don't know. I don't know how many are working for him. I don't know what all teams are doing what. Who's doing what. Who's responsible for what. We don't know too much about the companies. The business model I created yesterday was quite interesting. And I don't know if I'm going to end up needing to make... It depends on how many more people ask me if, is Outerplane going, like, the financial situation of Outerplane. It depends on how many more people end up asking that. I may end up making this video. But I have to be very careful because this is not actually their information, nor do I want to know their information. But I can give you a model of it and show y'all what it is. And if my model happens to be correct, they were going red for 3 months straight. To release the translation issue tomorrow, but due to time constraints, turned out to be impossible. That's fine. can spend and to stop the whole I'm free to play mentality. Yeah. It's gonna come from getting the spending player is going to come from generating new spending money is what you're gonna have to do. That's gonna be required. You gotta get old money to spend again. One of the things that I'm gonna be taking note of carefully is October, November, and December's numbers. As if it holds consistently, it's stable income, and it's not going to really grow. If it declines, the game's over with. Period. If it declines over 4 months, the game's over with. They've lost the community. Without an insane marketing campaign at that point, there is a DEF CON level 5 way of getting the game back. It's will they do it? It's will they go to DEF CON 5 and actually finally say, all stops out, we're getting this game successful. Will they do it? But it will require a massive push from the community in a general sense. Now, I've seen them. They pop up. I've been getting them still. Ads are out there. But I would assume by it being the late end of October, their ad campaigns are probably spent. Because with viewership dying off, with ad revenue probably dying off on their budgets, they probably focused more of it in the first 2 weeks than the back half, because they figured we need to get the first 2 weeks of hype to then carry us through the rest of this, versus where you incrementally spend easy. I heard CNZ was a flop, so that's good. Yeah. I mean, we'll have to see. Numbers will always tell everything for when it comes to a game's success. And I mean, honestly, this game could survive for a while. But I'll pull this up, not on stream, but I'll kind of read over a couple things real quick. No, they've never reached back out to me. And I don't expect them to.
Did you observe closely?
As he said, he doesn't want to communicate through email, which is, he doesn't really want to deal business then. Or, get stuff, because I'm not about to, dox any of the people I know. Or myself, for that matter. But I did a rough analysis, and I set up an entire gaming company based upon the model of what I was looking at, and I ended up coming up with a monthly expenditure of let's see, where was it? $232,150 a month was my monthly budget, and that accounts for everything. And I mean everything. So that means you have to make $2.7 million a year, almost $2.8 million a year as a gaming company, in the current way I tried building this And when I mean I accounted for everything, I'll give you the categories that I worked through. Personnel costs, so the development team, the art team, the operations and support costs, management, which is probably some of these are redundant, but I wanted to make sure that I at least planned for it as a business. So a management team, infrastructure, servers and hosting, licensings and software tools, marketing, user acquisitions, operational expenses, business operations, content and live operations, platform and distribution, contingencies and reserves, monthly expense summaries. I went through and tried to create a business model, and I came up with a $232,000 a month expenditure, which if that's the case, then they're going red based on that. Hello there. What's new after the patch? New to stream? Welcome in. Happy to see you. Can I see the spreadsheet? It's not a spreadsheet. But I will, I'll get it to you. Some way, somehow. Let's see here. Let me save the PDF of this. So this was a rough guess. I didn't actually, like, try to do too deep into this. But what's new? You're going to be getting limited Tamamo no Mei. You're going to be getting a new side story. A new character's going to be dropping right away. Velia will be dropping. There's going to be some new packs added, more content, balance adjustments, and let's see here. Let me pull this up. Display capture, sources. But I also have a video coming out later today that's going to cover the patch notes in much greater detail. But yeah, I based this on, similar to Outerplane, roughly a 2-year business model. They're going to be about 15 to 18 people. Overestimating to be safe, so it's probably less than this. You probably could be somewhere between 150 to 200,000. Senior leads, mid-level, junior game dev. Art team, lead 3D artist, 3D animators, UI UX, 2D artists for characters and marketing, producer lead project, QA testing, community manager, which I don't know if they really have one, live operations manager, CEO head, business development, and I wanted to aim on the hide side of this. Infrastructure and technologies, you know, rough guesses on server hosting, databases, content delivery, servers management, software licensings, rough guesses on this. You know, needing Creative Cloud 3D softwares. I mean, some of this stuff could be bought and paid for. We don't know if they actually are using stuff like this. You're looking at user acquisitions. Advertising on this was a rough guess, based on kind of where I was looking at it. I would probably market this a little bit different. And then notes and assumptions down here. So I can drop that off there. So. But yeah, that was basically what I was looking at when I was playing around with this. Trying to create different business models to see if I could find a way of what really were they expending. But I'm gonna guess, if looking off of that plus using my business models and stuff like that, I would probably say that they're north of at least 125,000 a month, There's no way that they're not with just the level of what's going on here. The size of the structure. The sheet is based on just, like, general information, not, like, super, like, because here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to dig into their actual, like, financial records. I don't want to ever go look that up. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to get close enough that I actually am airing out their dirty laundry. This was one that I ended up running last night where I was messing around with Claude AI on that one. And I gave it and fed it a bunch of different random stuff that I had, found, based off of some things that I want to spend with. Oh, cool, thanks. I hope they don't nerf D Luna in the future. Invested all my resources into her. They've already taken a strong stand on it, and they said they will not nerf Demi Luna. She is exactly as it is. So they said it's going to stay exactly as is. They're going to leave her. She will be the standard of other things, and they're going to try to bring other units up to be around her power. But they're going to leave her as is because they were mixed about it, and in the end, they didn't want to have they didn't want to upset a part of the community that had already invested deeply into her. But ultimately, I think they made the right decision. Let her just be there and try to bring other things up. Well, like I said, I was trying to be realistic if I'm trying to save a company. Like, realistically. I'm trying to not, everything was trying to base upon making costs, trying to get it down low. No, and I get that. Like I said, when I was looking at this one, I had made a couple others and then threw them out because I felt like I didn't get it in the right way I wanted to work on it. Because I was trying to do this because I gotten asked a couple times over the last 48 hours if they're going bankrupt, if they're not. And I wanted to pull up a general idea of what was going on. And I'm trying to think about realistically. And I honestly think that the salaries are probably less. But I couldn't... The cheapest one that I came up with was about $129,000. Not assuming.
Sorry, I have to go. So,
all right, man.
We'll see you later, man.
See ya. Thanks for hanging out. For sure, the quality salary is very high for the average QA staff. Yeah, and like I said, this one was a higher end model to see what would happen if you were making, you were paying your employees well, assuming you were getting very good quality people into work. I'm like, okay, if I'm saving a company, I want my best working on it. So I was thinking, okay, we really need to make sure we get the right people. However, for the level of pay, a QA employee is about what they should get paid. What pay a QA employee is. Okay, that makes sense. Like I said, this model that I came up with was a rough idea, and I've been playing with more, and I plan on digging a little bit deeper in case we get asked more, just because of the business aspect. Underpaid, so that was around... So that's why I would pay someone to do the work. Okay. I'm looking at, like... I look at this as a business professional. If I gotta be careful where I spend money. I gotta be careful with how I spend money. But I know I'm gonna need quality people to stay afloat if I'm going to go forward as a business. And that was, like I said, it was a guess, But you also, the one thing I couldn't really get, I couldn't quite find any information without going, like, off the deep end at, like, 10:30 at night was, digging into, like, Korea's salaries and Japan's salaries. Like, actually getting into the actual, like, markets of what those are being made, then converting it from Korean to US. I didn't feel like getting into that, so that's why I kind of took a generic approach and just to throw it down the middle. But like I said, I've seen anywhere from 125,000 a month to the highest one I had was 375. But I was also pushing a massive marketing budget into it, and I was also assuming income would probably be higher in the game, so you could afford to push a higher marketing budget. But that's really where it's going to come down to, is where are they spending their money in marketing and outreach, community, getting stuff out there. The more they spend in that, the more likely you are to get it in front of people. But you have to remember, the return on investment's going to be garbage for what you're outputting. But how long can you stay doing that, and how quickly can you grow? Because you want to see growth, not growth and retention. So if they don't grow, the money's being flushed, like completely flushed down the drain. So, anyway, it's 10:30. I need to get going. I need to go get that video exporting because it's going to take a while. I want to get that patch note video out as soon as possible for you all, because it is a mouthful of words and a lot of information and insight to give out. But thank you all so much for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate it. Tonight, I will try to stream something tonight. I do not know what it'll end up being. Last night, I was having an absolute bitch of a time streaming Battlefield because I fucked up my computer. I installed the latest driver. I've now gone back to the driver I was using at beta. And, I was still lagging on that. I've reinstalled Meld Studios. I've thought about reinstalling Battlefield just in case it was a Battlefield thing, but me and Ace played one match and it played just fine on its own, so it's not the physical game in my computer. But we might try Weathering Waves tonight to see if that absolutely tanks my computer. If it looks like a slideshow, that it's something going on. Try OBS again. The issue is I can, and I can go back to OBS, but I actually like Meld. Meld works a lot less on my computer. It doesn't take up nearly what Streamlabs or OBS did. But I mean, I'll download it, and it could be a backup. But I actually like the Meld setup. It's a lot more friendly. Plus, I can stream out very easily to YouTube and Twitch. So, no, I know, I get that. And I'm at this point, I'm willing to do it. And I mean, if worst case scenario, I'll finally jump over to the other computer. I don't really want to. It was meant to be for something else. But if it ends up that this computer is fucked, I'll go use my other one. But I was trying to keep this as my daily driver for as long as I could. And not bog that one down. So... So, TLDR, I bought a computer for AI models. So it's got a 5090, a whatever the top of the line graphics processor is. It's 64 gigs of RAM. It was originally meant to actually host a large language model on it. I have paused that because I don't know if my project is going to be continuing, so I bought it to be able to run a large language model I was going to be building for editing text and stuff, but I don't know if we're even continuing moving forward on the project, so I know I'm sitting on a very expensive computer that I didn't potentially may need to have bought. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's been kind of going on recently that I haven't been talking too much about. So, yeah, that's why, I have technically a monster of a computer that I'm not using. And if it is, it was designed to be like a server-based computer. I mean, it's an Origin PC computer. And I mean, it's not a server. It is a Windows 11 Millennium, fully decked out. Literally, there was not an option on there better you could get outside of just more M.2s. But I've already installed other M.2s for cheaper. So, this was meant to be an LLM cruncher, and if I am done with the project as it is, it's going to be probably a backup computer for when the 3080 computer finally decides to off itself. Or I may just switch over. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with it. So, it's a weird place for me. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. I appreciate it as always. So, be patient for tonight's stream if we end up going on and off a lot. I blue screened 3 times last night. So that's why the constant ons and offs were happening. It seems like it was a driver issue, according to the Who Crashed. So I think that's fixed. I haven't blue screened since. But if Battlefields ends up, if we try Weathering Waves tonight or Battlefield, I might go back to see if Battlefield's fixed. But there might be some consistent logging on and off as far as stream notifications go, depending on what ends up happening. Driver updates or whatever we're trying to do. We'll be trying to get it fixed because it was running just fine until I said, let's update the drivers for the newest Battlefield because I'm sure it's time for it, and then I get blue screens to death. So this is why I hate upgrading my drivers personally. I normally leave it until it's broke. 5090 issue? No, this is on a 3080 for the Win 3. The computer that I actually am running on right now is a Ryzen 7 3700 with 64 gigs of RAM, one M.2 in it. It's a 3080 EVGA, or an EVGA 3080 for the Win 3 Ultra, and still running Windows 10. The 5090 is turned off right now. I don't even have it running. It's sitting right beside it. So I've probably put maybe 4 hours on that computer since I bought it 2 months ago. So yeah. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all later tonight as I hopefully stream something consistently. So we'll see y'all later.